Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing this quick procedural array tutorial. It's kind of taking this kind of diamond shape and using some Mesh Boolean to cut it out in different slices. A version of this used to be my screensaver / like desktop background for a long time, so I thought I'll remake it for you guys so you can enjoy it too. So let's just jump right in. So we're on the scene. Let's go to Geometry Nodes, New System. And what we're going to use is a mesh curve, or not a mesh curve. We're going to be using a curve line. So we're going to do curve line to work with it. This is how we're going to make our shape. And what's nice about it is we can dynamically choose to do all sorts of things to have it work out for us. So we're going to do a mesh to curve, or curve to mesh, my bad. Curve to mesh. And we're going to do a curve circle. I'm going to pipe this in, make it 4. And then we're also going to do a spline parameter. This is going to be how we're going to scale it. So we know we have this. And what do we want for the shape? We want it to look like this, right? A diamond shape. So that means we want to have it be 0 here and 1 here. So that's a pretty obvious way of doing it with the factor. So we can plug in the factor right here like this. And we're seeing we're like halfway there. It's like looking close, but it's not exactly right. So what we want to do is also resample this curve. So we're going to do a resample curve right here. We're going to do 3. And I also want to do a set shade smooth. And force it to not be smooth so it's easier to see. Okay, so we got to do this. We're going to do a spline parameter, or it's not a spline parameter, it's a float curve. Pop this in here, pop it in. And then we know we want it to go again from 0 to 0 to 1, like this. So we know this is at 0, this is at 0, should be. This is at 1. We make it linear. Doesn't matter too much because we only have 3 points. So it shouldn't mess it up too bad. It's looking pretty close. Make this a lot smaller. Be like 0.5. This looks okay now. So now we have the base shape done. Let's do a merge by distance here too, just to kind of delete some of those points. Great. So what's nice about this, like, okay, so you think this is nice. It's nice to do this procedurally, but like why? So if you want to do a different shape, we can change it up right here really easily. And we're still getting this like dynamically however we want it. So that's kind of why I like doing it. Anyways, I like the diamond shape, so I like having the 4 sides for it, kind of like the octahedron. That's cool. It's then to make it interesting, we're going to do a mesh boolean. So we're going to do a mesh boolean, which is right here, and we're going to take, I think, this mesh and a new one. So let's take this resampled curve right here, so Control-Shift-D. Let's change the number of points. Let's say 5, and let's say instance on points, and let's do a cube. I can type. Put it in there. Let's look at it. So we have all these cubes right here. Let's make this really small, like 0.1. And then let's cut it here. Pop it in there. How are we looking? Nice. Now we're getting these dynamic cuts. But what's kind of off is the ends are being cut too. And I don't like that at all. I want to have it be like sharp ends. So how can we do that? We do edge or is endpoint or endpoints. Endpoint selection. We take this. We say not. So it's a Boolean operation there. We plug it into the selection, and now we're just ignoring the endpoints. Great. So now we have the basic system done. And what's nice is we can then, again, like I was saying before, so we can change the shape overall right here, as well as change the number of cuts. So I want to have it be an odd number of cuts, so that way it's going like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle part is being cut cleanly, so we have this kind of clean shape. So I like it looking like that. And then if we want to change the overall strength of the cut, we can mess with it here as well. I think 0.1 looks fine for how we have it set up. Cool. So now what are you going to do with all of this? I think it looks better when we grid it out. So let's do a quick grid. So we can do a grid like this. And let's just say mesh to points. And let's do Control-Shift-D. And let's do faces. And I think it's Control-Shift. And it's joined. That's a nice fun hotkey for y'all. And this is coming in. And let's just say same one. So instance on points. And we're instancing this. Nice. So now we have this little grid. It's all done. And we can change the scaling how we want to do it. So let's do a value. Let's do like 0.2. Let's pop it in there. Okay, we're getting there. Nice. It's looking good. And so then let's then take this, make it way more number of points. So I think actually let's scale this a lot. So let's do a value. Let's do a value here and here. Let's make it like 10 maybe too much. Let's do like 5. It's not big enough. Let's do 10. That's fine. And then the number of vertices we can just subdivide to keep it nice and square. So let's just do a subdivide mesh. Maybe we do 2. We change the scale. This looks nice. We can have this all be exactly the same, or we can also change the vibe of it a little bit by changing the scaling by doing a random value if you really wanted to. But I think I kind of want to keep it all the same. So let's kind of bring this light in just to get an idea. How do we want to do this? Let's turn on ray tracing. I think I want to change the height of them a little bit. Actually, maybe I will change it to be random values. Let's do a random value. Let's just pop this in. And rather than going from 0, let's go to like 0.8 to 0.9. Does that look nice? So it's like, they're not all exactly the same. It's a tiny bit of variance. Maybe that's kind of nice. And I think also too, let's do a transform. I think it looks nice with a little bit of height differences too, actually. So let's just do a minus 0.2 to a positive 0.2. Keeps it centered a bit better. Let's just talk about this system again one more time before we set the material. So we're taking in a curve line. We're sampling it 3 times. 3 times matters, so we have a nice clean float curve here. So we're getting that clean kind of like octahedron shape. We're then using a curve to mesh, and we're using the spline parameter, the factor, in order to make sure we have that nice shape. We are also using a resample curve on the same exact curve line. So as we change this, everything is, locked together, which is good. So then what we can do is use a Mesh Boolean instancing with some different shapes to cut it out. So that way we're able to have these nice kind of like cuts in between the kind of octahedron shape. We're making sure the shading is flat because I think it looks better than this kind of like smooth blobby look. And then we're using this as a big instancing system for a big set of points with a grid. We are subdividing it to make sure we have a high density of points. And then we're bringing in a set position just to add a bit of randomness to kind of have a bit more personality. We're setting a material, and then that's what we're going to work on right now. So now we're in the shading editor. We have this here. Then let's look at, I think it's geometry. See, this has the overall real position, and it's not relative, which is nice. But anyways, let's just think about this. So it's going to be object info, and we have random from the instancing. Sweet. So this looks good. So then what we can do is we can take this to kind of drive some of the changes over the overall texture. So I think we can do is like a really fun basic noise texture. We take this, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take Control T, just the object coordinates right there. Cool. And then what we're going to do is we're going to change this to be 40. It's fine. I think it's ringed multifractal. That's the old, no, hybrid. This is the old Musgraves texture. Cool. And if we decrease the scale or change it, also too, what we can do is take this random value and add it into the object coordinates. I found this out a while back of like randomizing everything. So we're gonna do a vector math. We're gonna take this and we're gonna add this in. So now everything is slightly different as you're seeing. So it's not the same thing being repeated. So let's mute this, all the same. Now it's all slightly different. Isn't that cool? Really easy way of doing it. Cool, so now it's all slightly different. All their coordinate systems are slightly different. So that's coming in, and then we're gonna change this to be like here maybe, and we can pop this in to the same puppy like so. I think we do this. How is this looking? Very trippy, but let's just do a regular multifractal. This is kind of what I like. This, and let's just play with it. Too nice. I'm happy with it. Getting in an idea. I think it looks nice. Cool. Okay. And this can come into a color ramp. And then we're going to pop this here, pop it here. We're going to, I think, keep the roughness where it's at. You might want to make it shiny. What we can also do with this is put it into a bump. This needs to go into the height of the bump. We put it into the normal here. Distance offset, let's say 0.1. Just pull this back and see how this is looking. It's going to compute for a second. Okay, I've changed some things up. So what I decided to do was I decided to go in the shading, change it up a little bit. So now it's a noise texture right here going into a Voronoi, and then it's going, the factor of this noise texture is going into the Voronoi, and that's how we're getting these rings. I think the rings looks better. I changed the colors a little bit too to be a bit more red. It looks nice. And then I'm also going to change the world to not be transparent. So let's go to film. It's no longer transparent. And I'm going to change this color to be something else. Like, I don't know. If we're around here, maybe it should be a blue, like a really bright blue, like almost a white, like this maybe. And it can maybe not impact it. So it's just like, that shouldn't be happening. So then if I do this, yeah, I think that's fine. So let's just do that. And then what we can do is copy this. Let me make a plane, mesh plane, rotate X 90, scale 15, grab like this or something. And then we're gonna go to shading, new, delete, emission, paste it, surface, layout, shading. And we can change this to be something else. Like, I don't know. Maybe I want the camera to be more top down. There. No. There, okay. Then to do the animation, I'm gonna do a quick object constraint on the camera. I'm gonna do a track 2, and we're gonna use this same camera focus object. So then we can go on the parented empty, and we can do a rotate on the Z. We can have it go, whoops, just a small back and forth on the Z axis. So we see a little bit of motion. It's not too bad. Nice, I would say this is good to go now. If you want the project file, it's gonna be on my Patreon. It's on a free project, feel free to download it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next one.